Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to have an opportunity to take some more photographs at the end of our question and answer session. Gentlemen, if you'd like to take your seats, please. Thank you. All right, thank you. There you go. So, as I said, I will take you through the details of the press conference shortly, but I would like to start with some questions to these three gentlemen. I'm going to start with a question for Josh. Josh, what does it mean to you to be here today with Anthony and Andy right here in the heart of Austin, being announced as Austin FC's first ever head coach?
It means a great deal. I'm terribly excited to be here. These are two men that I'm certainly comfortable being around and have shared a good history with. I think that's what gives me the level of comfortability with the opportunity that's ahead of us. I know what Anthony expects. I know how he wants to build Austin FC and what he wants this to be like in the great city of Austin, and I'm proud to be on board of that, and I look forward to the future.
Excellent, thank you. Anthony, turning to you. Why is Josh Wolf the perfect head coach for Austin FC?
We've obviously have a great level of comfort with Josh. He's a rising star in Major League Soccer. Numerous clubs were very interested in him. So when there's a great opportunity to hire a real talent, we got to jump on it. Hiring Josh today is a testament to how committed we are to putting a really strong product out in the field in 2021. There's a lot to do, and we're getting started early. Josh has an extremely high soccer IQ, high character, high work ethic, shares our competitiveness. We've had great success together over the years. We made the playoffs 4 or 5 years. Won an Eastern Conference championship. He has a great player resume, exceptional player in MLS and played abroad in Bundesliga. So he understands the club scene. He's been the assistant coach of the national team. He understands the national team scene. He's been a scout for CONCACAF and played in CONCACAF tournaments. So he's really, he understands our region and the type of players we're up against and the type of players we want to recruit. So I think he's an exceptional fit, and we're thrilled to have him here today.
That's excellent, thank you. Andy, I'm going to turn to you. You've worked with Josh before. Do you want to give a bit more detail about the kind of qualities that you think that Josh is going to be bringing to the role of head coach?
Well, as Anthony mentioned, in addition to him being a man of high integrity, high character, high soccer IQ, I know that he will be an incredible fit within the community. So as we think about our integration inside of Austin, we know that him and his family will both be exceptional additions to Austin. They will fit in quite perfectly. I think on the business side, it's important that there's a strong partnership between soccer operations leadership and business operations leadership. And knowing each other for the last 5+ years, we have a great deal of comfort working together, and I think that's an important aspect of growing the club.
Perfect, thank you. Josh, turning back to you. You've been here before as a coach, I think back in 2015. Do you want to talk a little bit about your experience then and what you've seen changed in the city of Austin since that trip?
Yeah, we were here for preseason in 2015, so we spent our time out in the Domain, and again, it continues to be a thriving area. And what's great about that area is it will show the support that we expect, and we'll certainly cherish that and living up to that in our community. And it's something that's building. I think the diversity and certainly the area and the growth is something that brings a lot of people to the city of Austin, and that's a great recruitment tool for our players as well as our coaches, because when the city is this exciting and as embracing as Austin is, it only bodes well for our future. I spent some time. I was able to meet Angela Kelly, who's the coach at University of Texas. And again, hopefully we can bridge those relationships and within the community a bit more. But really excited to be here. Look forward to spending more time here and certainly getting more familiar with all the people, the fans, most importantly.
Thank you. Anthony, back to you. You've said that ambition for our first season is to reach the playoffs. Is Josh the right person to take us into that goal?
Again, we've had success together, making the playoffs 4 or 5 years and working together. And I think Josh, with the support we're getting from the city of Austin in terms of season ticket deposits and sponsorship support from the likes of St. David's and the relevancy we're seeing here in Austin, this great city, is going to help us be really successful, have the resources to really take it to the next level and even be more successful than just qualifying for the playoffs. And We wanted a continuity in our club. We have a culture that we've developed, and there's a style of play we envision. Attractive, attacking, possession-oriented soccer, and Josh has been refining his game model and his eye for talent to fit that style of play for 7 years now, and beyond that as a player. So we think he's really ready to and also hiring early in. We can start building out our soccer operations, and we'll be initiating our search for our sporting director. And having the fit between Josh and our sporting director is going to be crucial in building a product. And we have a lot of time now to start to build our prospects list and our plans for our roster, and work on the training facility and how it's going to fit with the culture and how we want to treat players. And so getting Josh in early and hopefully getting our sporting director in early will really help us put the best product on the field in 21.
Perfect, thank you. Last question to Andy before I open it to the floor. Andy, how important was it from the club's perspective to get somebody with both MLS, international experience, not just at club level, but at the national team level?
Anthony hit on this. I think Josh's experience playing abroad, playing in MLS, certainly allows him to understand the intricacies of our league and his technical staff experience, the intricacies of player acquisition, player development. Those are all crucial to launching the club and getting us off to the right start. In his current role with the U.S. men's national team now, he's chiefly scouting CONCACAF. So as it relates to our stated mission of exploring talent inside of Latin America, and I think he's focused on the region right now full-time for U.S. men's national team. So I think he comes with the perfect set of qualifications, as Anthony highlighted. This is a man who's been in high demand. He had other opportunities, and we're very thankful and grateful to have him.
Perfect, thank you. I'm going to open it to the floor now. If you would like to ask a question, please put your hand up. The lights are a little bright, so I can't see everybody particularly clearly. But if I do point at you, then I'm going to ask you to state your name and publication. Afterwards, there will be an opportunity for one-to-ones and a group session with these gentlemen. So if you don't get your question answered now, don't worry, you will. I'm going to start with Chris Bills from The Statesman.
Yeah, Chris Bills from The Statesman. Josh, first question that comes to mind is just wondering if you might continue on with the national team in the short term, and if so, for how long?
Yeah, my role with the national team will stay in place. I'll continue on for the next 4 months. As that concludes at the end of the year, as I've said, I look forward to getting in market. I'll move my family here, and it's just a matter of when that actually happens, but it should be late at the end of the year, and we're quite excited by it.
And just real quick, what attracted you to this job? You've had an interest from other clubs. What was it about this opportunity that attracted you most?
There are a lot of things that attracted me about Austin. But first and foremost, for me, it was coming to Austin. The opportunities were there with other clubs, but for me, it was about Austin. That was the only job I wanted. That was the head coaching job that I went after, and I'm excited that I was given the opportunity by Anthony and Andy. And going forward, it's about what Andy and Anthony have already talked about. It's building a culture, building the right environment. We understand this will take time, but there will be urgency on our part to put the right people in place, the right things in place. So there's not just short-term success. We're looking at building it so that's sustainable, repeatable success. And I look forward to getting started.
Thank you. Next question.
Yeah, Phil West, MLSsoccer.com and Pro Soccer USA. So we're about 19-20 months from first kick, so just wanted to know, and this can be for all of you, what the timeline is. You mentioned sporting director, and then obviously I think a lot of people are eager about first player signings.
Let's go with Anthony for that.
Sure. Obviously, announcing our first head coach in club history today is a big start. We are already underway with our GM, sporting director search, and that will just take the time until we find the right candidate. But that's underway, and as we've said, we expect something by year end. In that regard, we want to be staffed at the top of our soccer operations by the end of the year, so we can really turn our attention to scouting and building our discovery list and focusing on the players that we might sign. I'd anticipate a possible signing, in the second quarter, summer transfer window of next year, and then there's a lot of mechanisms to build the roster from, midsummer to the end of the season, and when we start training and probably January of 2021.
And I would just add, having Josh on board probably makes the sporting director role much more attractive. His reputation inside of U.S. soccer, inside of MLS is stellar. Again, impeccable reputation, and I think it only further enhances our opportunity to attract the right candidate.
And chemistry will be important. So that's great that they know who the coach is going to be.
Andy, actually, do you want to expand on that point? I mean, obviously, you guys have worked together before, so there is already chemistry there. But do you want to talk about how important that is in helping build this club from scratch?
Well, I think from a baseline expectation, we want to be very informed of each other's activities, and it's easier said than done. In most professional sports, there can be difficulty with having, let's call it the sporting leadership and the business leadership work together. And we've made that part of our company culture, that's a minimal expectation. And I know that it can be done, in fact, very seamlessly, effortlessly with Josh. So for us, that was a big piece of our decision-making process.
With every one other comment, with every hire, there's always great promise. In this regard, we've worked with Josh for almost 6 years, so we really understand what we're getting in terms of, again, character, IQ, work ethic, his communication skills, and we all work really well together.
I'll just expand upon that as well a little bit. Anthony, you mentioned about attacking style, playing style. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that, about what the fans can expect to see when we are actually in competition?
Well, I think I would defer to Josh on that. I mean, obviously, you look at the highlight reel and you can see how Josh played, and I would imagine that's going to carry over to his style as a coach. But I'd rather defer to Josh.
Yeah, I think it's important that we understand that. I mean, we will be an attacking style of play. There will be organization and structure out on the field. Our principals will understand our players will understand their roles. We'll utilize offensive and defensive principles. We want this to be organized. We want it to be about the collective. We want our guys to take on challenges, and we're going to impose those things. But it's about building it with the right people, the right players. And again, we understand that it takes time, but it starts with myself. It starts with our staff. But I have absolutely no doubts we'll get there.
Excellent, thank you. Any more questions from members of the media? Yes.
Robert Pizarro, Univision 62. Welcome to Austin to my real little word.
Bienvenido.
My question is, now that you are the coach, are you going to select the players to play your system, or you select the players and you establish a system?
No, I think it's a good question. I think anytime you're building a team, you have to have an idea of what you expect it to look like. I have an idea of what I expect soccer to look like. And again, I mentioned it being organized. I mentioned there being structure. Within that, there is flexibility. And once our players have a good understanding of the style of play and the way in which we go about playing, there'll be room there for players to have a little more flexibility with their positioning. So structure and formation for me, those are things that will be adjusted along the way. I don't stick to saying it's a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2. I believe in identifying our players. At that point, we'll identify our structure and our formation.
Thank you. Any other follow-up questions from members of the media, or anybody who wants to ask a question? Thanks.
They're Brady Freehill, Talk Austin FC. So in terms of bringing in new players and building a new squad, where do you stand on the balance of bringing in MLS tested players, MLS veteran leadership, and bringing in new players to the league?
Yeah, I think all three of those buckets are vital and critical. And as we prepare and obviously name more to our staff, it's important that we build this in the right way. And it's going to take time for that to develop and unfold. But our ability to get domestic players and international players is critical. Our ability to develop academy players is going to be critical. So there's a lot that has to go into this. We're excited by where we're at. We understand it's very new. But this is the beginning. And in time, we will get to where we want to get.
No stone unturned.
Thank you. Any more questions from our audience? Yes, Chris Bilskin.
Josh, I know in Columbus you guys worked well with, somewhat limited budget compared to other teams in the league. Have you been given any assurances of how you'll be able to build a roster? And I suppose, Anthony, you can touch on this as well, but just, with the level of investment we've seen around the league, being able to build a competitive roster with those top teams.
I mean, we're in Austin, because we believe we can be a big club. We've had big ambition as a club, and Austin gives us the opportunity to really be successful. All that Austin has to offer and present, the support we've seen thus far. We anticipate, with 35,000 season ticket deposits taken, that we're going to have sellout crowds, and that kind of support is going to fuel the players to be able to play in that atmosphere. It's going to give them that extra drive, and the support we've seen from the corporate community and from the citizens of Austin, the politicians, everywhere within Austin is going to make us really strong and healthy, and we'll be soon announcing some new investors. We're going to take this club to the next level and have a lot more resources to spend on our product on the field.
Thank you. We're going to pass it down there.
Hi, Eduardo Laceta 1071. Today we have the first games for the League's Cups with Liga MX and MLS teams. How important do you think this tournament will be for the region?
Yeah, I always enjoy the clashing of styles with whether it's Central America, Mexico, and certainly MLS. You get to see, again, what diversity looks like, and it's a great opportunity for our players. They're experiencing another level and against different opponents than they typically have. So it's a great opportunity for MLS. It's a great opportunity for the players, and again, we're encouraging the game of soccer. So the utilization of these games is impactful for our players' development as well as our league's development.
Ruben again.
Pizarro again, Univision 62. Given that Texas is very well immersed in the Latino community, there's a dominance of the Latinos. Have you thought about a percentage of players, since you have the experience of the CONCACAF, have you thought about the percentage of players in your team that are from Latino background?
We don't have an exact percentage, but we intend to represent our community. We are very focused on being a diverse club. In our previous situation, we had over a dozen languages spoken within the locker room, and we anticipate that kind of diversity always within our front office and within the clubhouse.
Yeah, it's a global game for us. It's having players from all regions of the world is critical, and that's the teams in this league tend to have success with that. And with that comes expectations and management, but that's what we're going to need to utilize here. We obviously will have to utilize our region as well. It has a big influence on the community here, but also on the game. So we look forward to that, and again, it will take time, but we're quite optimistic with where we're positioned.
Any more questions from the media? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask these gentlemen to come back to the front of the stage where we're going to do some more photographs. We're also going to invite Josh's family to come up and take some photographs, and some of our VIPs as well. But we'll start with Anthony, and Austin FC's first ever head coach, Mr. Josh Wolf. Let's go with Scott, gentlemen. Tom?
You want me to?
I'd also like to welcome Josh's family, his wonderful 4 children, and his wife Angela.
Awesome, perfect, y'all. 1, 2, 3, one more. 1, 2. There you go. 1, 2. Perfect, guys.
One more here. 1, 2, 3. Good. Perfect.
So I'd like to say on behalf of Austin, welcome the Wolf family to Austin, Texas.
So we're just going to leave Josh and Anthony on stage for a couple more photographs, and then we're going to bring some other VIPs up for photographs. So, yeah.